Okay, so right now you should be seeing a test listing at the top of your screen within TransactionDesk. Do you see that, Amanda?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. So what I've done is I have created a transaction already. So make sure you're creating a transaction in doing this interactive seller disclosure statement within a transaction. So once you've created the transaction, you will go to the forms section. And you see I've already got forms in my transaction. If you didn't have the interactive disclosure statement already added, of course, you would click the add button, choose from the GLAR forms, and then scroll down to the seller disclosure statement and addendum 419. It's form 137 interactive. Make sure you click the interactive one. Do not click the one that's up here because that is not interactive and you cannot add, edit, and the seller can't edit. So make sure you choose the interactive. You click the radio button, then you would click add. So once we're in the seller disclosure statement interactive, you want to make sure that you have your seller's contact information in their email address in the contact. So it's very important you have it added in the contact section over here on the right hand side. So once you select the radio button, you click on the ellipses button. I actually had to Google that because I didn't know what that was called. So those three little dots are called ellipsis. So click the ellipsis button and you see here you have some choices to do with this form. You want to click the send button. Once you click the send button, you're going to click the email button. At this point, it brings up the email screen. You could enter someone's name and information in here manually, but since you've already put it in the contact information, you will click on the index card and then select your seller, test seller, and then click the select button. I like to enter a more descriptive subject line instead of the generic subject. So I will actually delete this and add the subject seller disclosure statement from myself. And is same with the message. I will change the instructions in the message. Actually, there are no instructions in the message, so I put my own. And what I like to type in there is, please click the link. Complete the seller disclosure statement in full. Click File Save. When completed, I will resend later for e-signatures. So make sure you tell them that they are not signing this document. So it's very important that you coach your seller a little bit on how to do this. They're not going to be signing this. They're just going to be filling it out at this point. I would send it to them as a link, and also make sure that you allow editing of the forms. If you do not allow editing, the seller will not be able to fill it in. So if you've ever sent this to a seller and they say, hey, it doesn't work, it's because this box here was not checked. The next thing, I would put an expire date, just give it a month. You do have to put an expire date if you're sending it as a link. And then from there, you would click the send button. It's really that simple. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like. This is the email that the seller will get. It'll be labeled seller disclosure statement sent from you. And they can read down through this and click on the button here where it says seller disclosure statement, and then just click on the link. That's what they will click on. So you see here, this is the instructions that I put, and you can see the subject line says it's from me. So when you click this box here, you're now going to get the interactive disclosure, and this is what your seller is going to actually fill out. So this is how it looks for them. So they can go through and check all of these, that they work or they don't work or unknown. They can fill in extra explanations. They need to be reminded that they need to save it. So make sure they click File and Save. If they click on Save as a PDF, it will only save to their hard drive. It does not save to the system. So when they click Save, it is now saved. And if the internet works fast enough, I can go back to my transaction desk and show you that this form has actually been filled out. And at that point, the sellers will then exit. So I'm going to go to the Seller Disclosure Statement Interactive. If it's loaded quickly, so you can see this is the wording that the seller just typed on the other form. And there you have it. That is how you fill out the send and how the seller fills out the interactive seller disclosure statement.